Hi there, and welcome, a huge welcome to the Voyage to Vitality channel holiday special. I'm Dawn Livingstone. I host the Transcend and Succeed show every Friday at 2 p.m. Central, and I'll be your chief elf for today. And we have Laura.
And I am your host for Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. And Dawn and I are super excited to bring back some of our guests from season one episodes that we had finished to come back and share with us a little bit of either how business is going, their holiday message, whatever it is they would like to share with you. We are excited to have them back and have them remind you of who they are, what they have. And I can tell you our first one up is Mark Fox. He is the inventor of the Vibe. And so Mark, take it away.
Hey, not Happy New Year yet, but Merry Christmas, everybody. So things are going good with the Vibe. Some interesting stuff, and just it's kind of weird timing. Is friend of mine who is he's got multiple best-selling books and stuff, and we were talking about the Vibe the other day, and he goes, Mark, you know what you need? You need to go write a book. And like my first reaction was, I don't have time to go write another book. We're 5 minutes into the discussion, and I'm like, wait a minute. I wrote 8 of them 3 years ago on this topic. And it's like, he goes, what are they? And I show him the cover, and it's resonance frequency therapy. He goes, yeah, that sucks. That's a horrible title. He goes, you need a different title, and maybe we can market it better. I'm like, all right. He goes, I'll come up with something for you. And then right when he said, he goes, I already got it. He goes, what on earth are we doing to our health? So I'm like, okay. So we changed the title of the book to that, and the subtitle was, rocket scientist exploration of out of this world therapies. So changed the title of the book and went and looked at the book and go, God, I put a lot of time into this. So I didn't have to repurpose it, and we just launched it today. Actually, the press release just came out a few hours ago. So that's kind of cool. Gift to myself was a book. He asked about Christmas gifts. I said to my wife last night, I'm like, I don't get anything special. I don't even know. She goes, she's got this look like, you're 62 years old and you still get a gift from Santa every single year. I'm like, oh yeah, I do. I forgot. I know she's Santa, but okay. So yeah, I still get some kid's toy every year. So maybe that's my cool gift under the tree. It's always something like for a little boy, that's 62-year-old little boy, right? So things are going good. The Vibe's taken off. I'm spending a bunch of money on ads, but I've quadrupled sales in the last couple of months. So I'm not doing anything but answering phones, feels like. I have determined that 75-year-old men with prostate issues are the meanest people on the planet. So they need to cheer up for the holiday because they're angry. They're really angry. So hopefully we can help those people. Some gifts for other people that have happened with this device that was never planned. I had no expectation. I've had in the last 2 weeks, 2 70-year-old women tell me they ran general inflammation and their varicose veins in their legs disappeared. So I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe there's a market there, right? That was a complete surprise. Another one with addiction. I've had a couple customers come back to me and say the 417 hertz for addiction. One was a guy cocaine addiction. And he's like, I don't want Coke anymore. He goes, I just ran a couple. So we're off testing all kinds of addiction, like cocaine versus sugar, right? Are you addicted to sugar? So that's one of the campaigns we're running now. So that's some cool stuff. Vibe 3.0 that you don't have, version 3 came out, what's the day? Wednesday? Came out a couple days ago, okay? So that's got some new stuff on it, like improved prostate. It's got, I got to say it right, so tinnitus, the ringing in your ears. We have a protocol for that. So those are the kind of cool things going on. Is it's all good. I just wish I could get a rebate from Zuckerberg because he's got all my money. It's expensive running these ads, but yeah, things are good, doing good, and getting a lot of good feedback from people. So having a good time.
You're not likely to get your money back from Zuckerberg. Definitely not.
Yeah, I don't think so. But that's super stressful because I've never, in business, when you're a corporation, you can spend money when it's your own savings account and the amount of money you're spending every day on ads, and you don't control the algorithm. And Zuckerberg is like, you don't know what they're doing to you. But hopefully if it's scalable, I keep doing what I'm doing. And we're looking for influencers and stuff now. I'm not doing that, trying to find the right partners and stuff there. But yeah, you can't live on pay-per-click alone because it's too risky. Right? I don't want him to have all the control, right? So yeah, things are all going good. It's wherever you rest you guys are at, it's in Florida and it's warm here. So
we're somewhat warm here in Missouri, but I know you have some funny stories because you and I discussed some of them because, us women that have clothes that don't have pockets, we stick.
So the amount of women that have admitted that they've dropped it in the toilet out of their bra is up to 8. I'm still trying to picture that. It's like, how far do you guys lean over? Like, how is it coming all the way out of your bra into the toilet? But what happens when it gets wet? And I just write back, when you drop in the toilet, hit it with a blow dryer as fast as you can and dry it. And so we've had them all recover so far. So that's all good.
It's an expensive mistake. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Mark, what are you doing for Christmas? What are you doing for Christmas?
We're not even sure yet. Because my favorite hobby in the world is ballooning and flying my plane. So I'm watching the weather, and if I can go to Cordele, Georgia, or go somewhere to balloon for a couple of days. My favorite hobby is flying my airplane and my balloon. And this year with the Vibe and Arizona Health I'm neglecting my toys. Okay. It's the least amount of flying I've done in 35 years this year. So where I have a little window like that, we may try and go fly somewhere, go balloon somewhere. Make somebody else's Christmas, because what I normally do when I fly, a lot of times I don't have passengers. I just land in somebody's yard and go, "You want to go for a ride?" And they're like, "What?" And then take off the passenger. So we'll try and do that.
And what's your most favorite Christmas dinner?
Besides beer?
Yes, besides beer.
Turkey, I guess, just because it feels like a tradition to me. Yeah, I like turkey. I don't like ham that much, so yeah, it's turkey. And I don't like sweets, so I don't like sweet potatoes and I don't like any of the desserts. So just kind of turkey, maybe mashed potatoes and green beans. It's a simple guy.
Sounds good. Anything else you want to say, Mark?
What do you guys think of this hat?
It's cool.
Okay, so we have a thing here in Cocoa Beach, Florida, a thing called Surfing Santas. So this family decided to just go surfing a few years ago, and they had a couple friends show up. It's turned into like one of the biggest events in the world. There's like 40, 50,000 people. It's monstrous. So maybe this hat will be one of the surfing hats. I usually lose my hat on the surfing thing because you've got thousands of people in the water and everyone banging into each other, and you lose half your clothes. But this might be my surfing.
I didn't get on today. I decided not to bother because it kept falling off.
But anyway, yeah, that's part of the plan. That usually happens on Christmas Eve. So if we're here, we'll do that too, unless we're out.
Well, it sounds like fun, and we all have different traditions depending on what part of the world or states or whatever that we live in. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you go Google it. The one year they had skydivers and stuff fly in, but they don't do that anymore because they didn't clear out a zone for them to land. And they took out, a couple hundred people. It's like, okay. Next time you need a landing zone, or don't have skydivers. So they got rid of skydivers.
Well, we want to thank you, Mark, for coming on today. It's lovely to see you again. It really is. It's been a while. It's been a good few weeks now, but we both had a really good conversation with you on both our shows, actually. We were honoured that you came on both our shows. But we want to wish you all the very best for Christmas and have a happy holidays.
Same to you guys. Anyone else on the call? Appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah. Take care. Okay, so our next guest is going to be Greg Hman, or Greg the Hydrogen Man, as he is very fondly referred to. Welcome, Greg. How are you?
Hey, Don. It's really good to see you guys.
It's great to see you. We had a really good conversation. You were on my show several weeks ago about your journey with hydrogen. Can you tell us where you are now?
Well, right now, obviously, for me, this is going to be a really good holiday because in the past, I suffered from a lot of medical issues, as you know, and also a lot of depression and just, a lot of difficulties in my life. And so the holidays were always kind of a difficult time because, as you probably remember, I couldn't walk a lot of times. I was in a lot of pain. So while everybody's having fun in the holidays, I wasn't. I would literally be bedridden. And so this is going to be a really good holiday season. And, I think for me, at least personally, there's a lot of gratitude in this one. And one thing that I've learned about joy and happiness is that gratitude appears to really bring a lot more joy and happiness when you're grateful for things. And I'm just so grateful that, all the family, the friends, everybody, and that everybody's doing well, everybody's, being healthy. And of course, hydrogen for me, I actually think that the holidays actually have something to do with hydrogen, even though people don't realize it. For example, when we have the tree, what's at the very top? They put the star. Stars are made of hydrogen. People don't really realize that. And of course, even like the three kings or the wise men who followed the star to find Jesus, And so, I think it's just a really, really special time. And I think hydrogen actually plays a big role in this whole thing. And so for me, it's going to be magical, just as magical as hydrogen is. I only wish that everybody out there, I know that not everybody can have good health during the holiday season because there's always somebody out there who's ill, but I really, really hope that people are going to be happy and healthy during the holiday season. And of course, there's going to be good food, but always remember, take care of your health, because I just think that there's just nothing more important than our health. It's hard to be happy and joyous when you're hurting and you're not healthy. So I really wish that for everybody this holiday season.
And I love your Christmas sweater, bah hum pug. Stand up a little and let us see that.
Let's see if you guys can see the little
That's
puggy.
fabulous. Look at that. That is really cool.
Used to have pugs in the past, so everything was pug around here sometimes.
Okay. And what are your plans for Christmas? Where are you going to be and who are you going to be with?
I'm going to be on the West Coast, Washington, Oregon area, and I want to spend a lot of time basically with my family, because at some point, as you probably remember also, I'm planning on leaving the United States for quite a while. I'm going to be going over to Japan. So for this holiday season, I just really want to squeeze all the juice out of the fruit, as you might call it, by spending time with the people that I care about and love, because it might be a long time till I see them again, or maybe even potentially not see them again. And so this is just a really important time for me to really try to extract as much gratitude as I possibly can. So yeah, I'm going to be spending it with friends and family, and I'm very happy for that.
That was actually a question I was going to ask you was, have you made any more plans to go to Japan? But you just answered that question for me. So that's super. That's super.
Oh, and I'm very excited to go. And, for them over there, New Year's is the big thing, And, but yeah, I definitely look forward to going over there and doing a lot of things that I've been wanting to do with my time. So that's going to be great too. But first things first, always live in the moment. I'm definitely going to be trying to appreciate the holiday season a lot before I leave and go enjoy my time over there.
Great. Do you have a worst Christmas present or a funniest Christmas present that you can tell us about, whether it was for you or it was for somebody else?
Well, one of the ones that comes to mind was when I was a little kid. For some reason, I was given a gift. I don't even know if I should say who gave it to me. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I remember, and when I was a little kid, like a lot of little kids, I was really skinny, right? I was really thin when I was a little kid. And I opened up this gift, and I'm not kidding you, it was a huge pair of tidy whities, like underwear. And they were so big, you could have fit two of me in there. And I didn't understand why my uncle, I guess I threw him under the bus there. I didn't know why he gave me a gigantic pair of underwear that definitely didn't look like they would fit me. It was, and as a kid, you always want toys and different things. So it wasn't the most exciting of gifts.
That would be one of those ones that you re-gift to somebody else.
That's just what I was about to say, Laura. You caught my vibes.
Giant pair of underwear for Christmas. My goodness.
I want to thank you for sharing all that. And the holidays, I know, are not always easy for people. So, I can relate. I lost my husband 4 days before Christmas in 2004. So it's taken me a long time to get back into it, which is why I was happy to do this. And it's like, let's make this fun the way it should be again. When you go to Japan, are you familiar with their traditions? Or are you going to be looking at seeing what their traditions are for the holidays, or learning? What are you doing?
I do know some of their traditions. I obviously want to learn more. Their culture is very rich. It runs very deep. And more than anything, my favorite thing that I'm going for is I'm actually going for the water, and hydrogen. So, these are my big things. And a lot of people don't know that in Japan, they are absolutely bonkers for not only clean water, but their hot springs. So they have hot springs all over their country. It's almost like 7-Elevens. It is everywhere. And
Nice.
I'm just very fond, it's almost like, it's almost like the whole rebirth thing that, again, Jesus talked about, because, this is the holiday season. We know that a lot of it involves or surrounds, Jesus and, his birth and, all this good stuff. And, he talked about going into water, and I know that when I soak in these springs, there's just something about it, because I've been there before. And there's just something about it that feels extremely magical, going into the nature, or even God's creation, because the planet Earth, is, as the scriptures say, he created the heavens and the earth. And when you go in those springs, there's something magical about it. There's something just, it feels so good. And I can't do that on a daily basis in the US. Over there, when I was there before, you can do it 2 to 3 times a day. Because there's so many locations, you can go to so many springs, and there's different colors, different smells of the water, like the sulfury. I've seen water that looks light blue and feels almost semi-slimy, and it's amazing for your skin. And then they have different waters that are like rich in different minerals. They have like red water. I mean, it's just so amazing. And so I really want to commune with nature and the water, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I'll learn about their traditions. I'm actually going to open up a new YouTube channel. Obviously, the current YouTube channel is Uprising 144K, but I'm going to open up a new one, and I'll let my viewers know on that channel when I do go to Japan, and share a lot more of not only things I'm doing there, but also the culture and different things that I'm learning. And they're really big on health. For a lot of people who don't know the Japanese culture, they're really big on health. One of the reasons they have some of the longest life expectancy in the world, it's not by mistake or by just a coincidence. They really do learn and take care of themselves. They're the ones who discovered hydrogen, the stuff that I feel saved my life and absolutely changed my health around. And so, by going over there, and I'm going to be learning a lot more about health, because they have a lot of different interesting scientific studies that they do that you don't see here. So I'll be sharing a lot about that also on my journey over there. There's just been a lot of things that I'm going to share. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a wonderful chapter in my life. And I'm going to be bringing a lot of people along. It's all free. It's all going to be on YouTube, and people can learn as we go and just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, as life should be. It's just enjoy the journey, and we'll be enjoying this holiday season.
Absolutely. And I've got some Japanese culture for you as well. I decided this morning I would Google some unknown Christmas facts. And one of them, you'll laugh at this one. It is a Japanese tradition to eat KFC for Christmas dinner.
Yes, actually, I did know that. So
did
weird.
you know that?
Yes, it is.
Because I was questioning whether that was true or not.
It is, and I don't know why it's such a tradition for them, but yes, and I think maybe that's their turkey. Maybe, I don't know, but everybody wants to go to KFC and grab that chicken for Christmas, and I don't get it, but they do some funny things over there sometimes, just like we do here. So
yeah, and they've got to order it 2 months in advance, it tells me.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. That I did not know.
Get on the wait list, yeah. Pre-order 2 months in advance. I know, that's quite a while, isn't it?
I mean, holy chicken, not cow, holy chicken.
Yeah, holy chicken, yeah. Lovely to see you again, and I'm definitely going to be following your trip to Japan. I'm very interested to see what's going on there. So, and it was wonderful to see you. Thank you so much, Greg. It really was. It was lovely to see you, and all the very best to you and yours for the holiday season. Oh,
thank you so much, and it was really nice to see you again also, and I really hope that we can do something again in the future again, soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a date, sweetheart. We will see you soon. Take care. Thank you.
All right.
We had so many fascinating guests and stuff. And one of them that I learned a lot from, because we have different realms of healing, but for quantum healing and scalar light, Don and I both had him on, as well as, Mark, but Tom Palladino, really excited to have you back and to share with us about the scalar light and the things that it's doing and helping people heal on a quantum level. So please share with us what you got, how's it looking? What do you got going? What you doing for the holidays?
First of all, ladies, thank you. We're going to express season's greetings to everybody. We look forward to a peaceful year coming. Peace on earth. And without further ado, it's great to be here. Thank you for invited me to the celebration today. I want to say to people that there are various ways to achieve health: spiritual health, mental health, physical health. And the, the different modalities that preceded my talk are to be embraced. There are many tools in the shed that we have to use. I have spent my career, my life, developing what I call scalarments that can, if you will, provide light, healing light to soul, mind, and body. And I guess this is apropos. Jesus is the reason for the season, and Jesus is the light. And that's what I want to inculcate by this speech, by my talk today. I work with the light of the world. That's God's light. So I work with healing light, scalar light, and it's a technique that I've developed that it's quite unique. Why? Because I never work with people. I work with force fields. I have a force field, and the way I can access my force field is through my photograph. So if you're new to this is the new science of quantum healing, in which we work with photographs of people, and we bring the light of God to a person by way of a force field on a photograph. Both Laura and Dawn are familiar with this process. They both interviewed me. And this is, if you will, this is the gift that God is giving us. The gift of the Savior, but also the gift of healing. My goal is to introduce this divine gift to mankind. Thank you both for providing me the platforms to do so.
Absolutely, and it's always a pleasure to have you. It's very fascinating. I was always fascinated by it. The light bulb being in the package, how that works, and the fact that you've been able to help and heal people in other countries. It's not like you said. There's no boundaries to that.
That's one of the things I'm so excited about. Ideally, I'd like to give this gift from God to the world. And again, if all I need is a photograph, well, a photograph doesn't recognize any border. There's no barrier to entry. There's no time and distance that a photograph cannot overcome. So if this is the first time your audience have heard of this, I understand. I am the originator. This is my custom built instrument, but you'll hear about this in the future. And we're going to change the world for the better.
And we will hear more about it too on our episodes. Dawn also just shared that you do offer a 15-day free healing when they go to scalarlight.com so that they can try it out for themselves. What plans do you have for Christmas or the holidays?
Family and only family. We wind it down and we relax Christmas week. We celebrate the birth of our Lord. We celebrate New Year's, and it's time for family. It's a holy time, and it's one of the times of the year that I actually don't research for 2 or 3 days, which is quite extraordinary. So I take time off, believe it or not.
Which is very good in self-care. You should take time off, and I'm glad you're doing that with your
indeed.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to. Thank you, ladies.
What is your favorite meal at Christmas time?
Anything. My wife and my stepdaughter cook, so I have no complaints. And I'm the recipient, so I won't complain, especially when somebody's cooking for me.
Yeah, our family's always been a little bit different. We do, my mom would spend a couple days. She makes a 3-layer lasagna. She always made extra pans, so we had stuff to go home. And then you have to make the green and red Jell-O. And you'd stripe the green and red Jell-O up in the things. Figured you had to have something light instead of after eating a heavy meal.
Yeah, they're just great memories, Christmas and spending time. So I have grandkids now. I have grandchildren. So, you see how important this is to be surrounded by family, and how you have to bring your grandchildren up to appreciate the significance of Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm kind of isolated over here. My family is in Scotland, so over here, I mean, talking about your favorite meal. I mean, my husband and I are both vegan, so we don't eat any meat or dairy, and he's just so he's just so happy. It doesn't really matter what I cook him. He eats it, and he's perfectly happy with it. And if I say to him, "What do you want for Christmas?" and I'd be happy with a curry. If you make a curry or you make a chili, something he's not particularly demanding. So it's nice. We just get time to relax and
You know,
yeah.
it's such a special time. And if you have the appreciation of family and social interaction, there's nothing like Christmas. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, we're
God,
going back to Colorado to spend Christmas with my family because it'll be the first year without my father since we lost him in January, and we know it was important for the whole family to be together. So we'll be going back to Colorado.
you're right. I miss my parents. My mom and dad have passed, and they're just great memories that I had. No hard feelings. Everybody has their time, but you look back. This is quality time that you should spend with friends and family. So do your best and don't be depressed. Get out there and socialize.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, it was lovely to see you, Tom. Thank you so
Ladies,
much for agreeing to come on.
God bless you both. God bless everybody. Peace on earth.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
So we do have a couple of guests that wanted to be here that weren't able to come along, unfortunately. And we asked them if they would make a quick recording for us with any kind of Christmas message to introduce themselves, who they are, what they do, and to give across a Christmas. What does Christmas mean to them? And I am pleased to introduce Tracy J. Thomas, who was on my second episode, and her and I have become good friends. We're chatting all the time, and she made this fabulous video. So here it is. Enjoy this.
Given that we're approaching this wonderful gift-giving time of year, I wanted to talk to you about Christ. Not the Christ whose birth the Western world celebrates at the end of December. I'm going to talk with you about the Christ that you are, or should I say can be. In fact, the word Christmas has been modified. The words are actually Christ in Mass, Mass being matter, physical form, and we are spiritual beings who have chosen to come here to experience this reality on earth. We are all Christs in Mass or matter. It's just that we've forgotten. But we all have the potential to be a Christ in Mass. That's the celebration. Being a spiritual entity, having an experience in matter. You've heard of ascended masters, haven't you? Some of the names which may be familiar to you are Buddha, Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Melchizedek, Kutumi, Hilarion. I have at least a list of 20 on my website if you'd like to check that out. But what are ascended masters? They're all Christs. They are all spiritual beings who have mastered this physical plane by becoming a Christ. There are many, many that we don't even know. Ascended masters started out as regular people like you and me, born to a woman and having the same challenges on this plane as the rest of us. However, in their challenges, they were able to see the illusion of this physical plane of existence and master it while in their physical vehicles, their human bodies. Having mastered this physical reality, they were able to ascend. That is, they were able to leave Earth with their physical bodies. Ascended masters now help humanity mostly from the other side of the veil. And because they've mastered physical reality, they can come back with their bodies anytime they wish, materializing and dematerializing at will. So let's talk about what it means to master this plane of dimension. What is it? What does that mean to master physical reality? Well, it means understanding the illusion of the physical existence. It means understanding and knowing to the core that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. It means knowing that we created all of this, and as such, we govern it. That's why Jesus was able to walk on water. It means understanding on a deep level that we are all one. It means understanding it to the point that we are no longer trapped here in a finite physical body. So how does it happen? Ascended masters were able to increase the vibratory frequency of the molecules, the atoms of their physical vehicles, to the point that they were able to carry more light in their beings. Then they began to levitate. And then they're able to disappear altogether, taking their bodies with them. They ascended this plane of reality. Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, told us repeatedly that we can do what he did and more. Why did he tell us that? In fact, all of the ascended masters maintain that we are greater than we know. We are greater than we realize because we are spirits having a human experience, and we seem to have forgotten that. So if ascended masters were once regular human beings like you and me, can we do what they did? Yes, we can. We can do this by turning off the outside world, by making time every day to check in with our Holy Spirit, by going within while in meditation or prayer, or in my case, hypnosis. We turn off the world and we shut off our bodies and we listen inside. Now there's complete silence, so we can begin to connect and learn to hear the small voice. Your Holy Spirit wants to talk with you, but it speaks very quietly. The more we listen by acting on the guidance that it offers, the louder it speaks. It doesn't matter what you call it, but the more we go inside, the more we begin to evolve our gifts. We become more synchronous within our lives. Coincidences seem to happen to us. We think of someone and the phone rings and it's them. We get a hunch to take a different drive on the way home from work instead of the usual route, and we find out there was an accident that blocked traffic for hours, and thank goodness we missed it. We begin to feel more love for others, allow the flow of goodness towards ourselves. So, my friend, at this Christ in Mass holy days, allow love and joy to fill your heart. Starting right now, we can look within for love, our compassion, our creativity, our ability to heal, and our ability to forgive. We hold the keys to the kingdom, always. Know that no matter what happens in your daily life or in the world, we already have eternal life. We just forgot. We just forgot it in this world, that we wanted to experience this illusion. This was a playground. The Ascended Masters knew that reality starts inside. It's not out there. We chose this experience to learn, to grow, to gain wisdom, and to evolve in this physical body, and to remember. Now it's time to remember. This holiday season, practice unconditional love, practice compassion, and most of all, be in joy. I'm Tracy J. I'm a hypnotist and a past life regressionist. In honor of this Christ in Mass holy day, I'd like to offer you a gift, the gift of more love and more joy in your life. I created a special hypnosis session recording for you to use to deeply connect with the love around you. It's blended with solfeggio frequencies. Get it today on my website at visitapastlife.com. I thank you very, very much. Merry Christmas. Merry Christ in Mass.
And I think that's a beautiful message.
That is a beautiful message. Yeah, and one of the other guests that I had that was not able to join us today is Peter Paul Parker. He's from the UK. He's a Dawn Master of Bright Beings Academy, and although he couldn't be with us, he did have a special Christmas message to share with all of us. So we'll watch that now.
Merry Christmas, and sorry I can't be here with you today live, but I am here in spirit, so I hope you're enjoying this event. My name is Peter Paul Parker. I run the Bright Beings Academy, which is a Qigong school. I also run the Dream Method coaching course, which is actually for you to connect more with your inner self, your beautiful light that's inside of you. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. So what does Christmas mean to me? Christmas was a very exciting time for me when I was younger, because it felt like the only time human beings were actually being human beings, which is important to me anyway, because you felt like, well, people are more friendly, they're more open, they're more up for going to parties and celebrations, they're more relaxed, they're more happy even. And I thought, wow, this is a brilliant time of year. Why can't this happen all the time? And of course there was a song released with that in the title, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, and I used to sing that to myself quite a lot. What's the weirdest present I've ever given somebody? Well, I must say it was given to me first. It was a flower pressing book, but not just a flower pressing book, all written out in German. I can't speak German to save my life. Schnell, and Achtung, and a few words I know in German, but that's about it. I'll probably pick them up from films. So what did I do? I passed that on to my friend, who was a very macho man, and he laughed when he got it. And now that book has been going around his family and friends. So if you ever get that over in America, where somebody's given a macho man a book on flower pressing all in German, you never know. It might have passed through my cycle of friends, my circle of friends, so you never know. So what is Christmas all about? It's about connecting with the light inside. So when we light the trees up in Christmas, that is about lighting up the spark inside of you. It's a pagan festival, that's where that idea came from. And that's what Jesus talked about in the Christian faith, about lighting up the Christos, the Christ spark inside of you, the connection with the divine. And that's why it's such an important time of year. We're coming to the end of the death of the winter. The winter's coming in and killing everything, and then we're moving towards the spring. So it's a celebration of this death and the rebirth coming in the spring. So it's important to keep that light spark inside of you. So we are a spark of light that comes down into us. And our seventh, eighth chakras act like prisms, which actually animate this world with colour. So we see colour and nuances on the physical domain. But what I wish for 2024 is more people to connect with that light that comes in and actually animates you as a human being. But because we have so much complexities within our body, we get wrapped up in this material world with all the barriers and all the preconceptions that we get stuck with, all the opinions, all the different flags we stand under. I stand under the red flag, you stand under the blue flag, someone over the standing over there with the yellow flag, and we're all polarized and not talking with each other. It's all got to go, because as soon as we connect with the white light, you can see that, well, actually I like Jim over there who's standing under the red flag. I like Jane over there who's standing under the blue flag. I like Melissa over there who's standing under the yellow flag. I love them all. Why are we arguing with each other? So when we connect more with this light source coming inside of us and the lights of the tree, which are reminding you of the light inside of you, then we will have peace and harmony on this earth. And as we're coming out of this Kali Yuga, the Vedas called it the Kali Yuga, the end of this Iron Age that we're in, we are actually going into a Sattva Yuga, which is a golden age. So you can see the grass shoots of that now happening with all these wonderful things and wonderful communities starting to come together. And people actually doing stuff outside of societal restrictions. Like there's free energy camps that are being built up. There's communities that are being built up online and offline. And there's amazing things happening. People are beginning to realize that food is one of the most important things that you can actually do. Good food, organic food, is one of the most important things that you can actually do to look after your physical body. So there's a wonderful awakening happening, and that keeps going, because the more we connect with the light coming into us, the more we can bring that light down onto the earth and make this world a better place. We call it Chan Ji In. You're connecting with the heaven energy, bringing the earth energy up through your lower chakras, meeting it in the middle, which is your heart chakra. So I wish everybody to take that journey for 2024 so that we can all live, love and thrive on this beautiful planet. So I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and joyful new year. And I look forward to coming across you at some point in the new year. Till then, be well and keep shining.
Never a truer word spoken. Connect with your inner self. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's so true. I mean, because a lot of times around the holiday times, it's like everybody seems to all of a sudden get this touch of niceness. But why are we always waiting for the holidays for that to happen? Why can't we practice that all the time?
All the time. Absolutely.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. And a time for reflection as well, gratitude, compassion. Can't remember who said that earlier, but absolutely gratitude and compassion and some downtime. And I think that's what you and I are very big on, Laura, looking after yourself as well. And taking some time out for you over the holidays, because they can become very stressful. I remember very well when my family were young. I had 3 kids under 11, maybe 12. 3 kids under that age. And so there was the 5 of us, and there was my siblings, and there was the in-laws, and then there was my parents, and all around this table, and it was total chaos. And it's not fun for one person to do it all themselves. I remember, some people would come in and help, my mom and my mother-in-law, which was great to get some help, but there's just so much more to do. And I think if somebody had wheeled me away and taken me for a massage, I would have been so grateful at that time.
Yeah, I didn't even find out what a massage was until after I had lost my husband, because I was one of those caregiver people, put everybody first. But I think you and I got to this point because we both have had our lessons in life. And it's one of the reasons and things why I love that we did this show and these channels together, because there's so many people that we can bring and build this community to keep supporting others, whether it's physical, energy, nutrition, you name it. It's the body as a whole. And being able to bring all these people together and provide that has been huge. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
We've had such a ball. We have met so many fantastic people, absolutely fantastic people. We've just enjoyed every minute of it. And although it was very nerve-wracking to start with, we've just enjoyed it to the max. And there's absolutely no regrets there whatsoever. I know that you're in agreement.
Oh yeah. And you're going to see much more too, especially with me and Peter. We've teamed up. We're doing a conscious living expo. It's just so cool who you can meet and the things you can do when you're like-minded and collaborate. So he's in the UK. Who cares? Yeah. I mean, it's just, you can connect with people. And I know we have a lot more fabulous guests that we had in season 1 to share with you guys, but we do need to take a quick break from our sponsors. So stick with us and we'll be right back.
Yep, stay there.
Hi, I'm Bobby Aldridge with BAM Metrics. There are so many programs out there that measure your swing speed, sets, reps, your BMI, your body fat, but the one thing they're not measuring that's so essential is mobility. Mobility is the key. If you're measuring your mobility, your performance will get better and you will reduce your pain. I created BAM Metrics to make it easy for people to repeat the exercises so they could do it properly at home on their own. It's simple, it's easy to do, and from a senior to a pro athlete.
And we're back. Welcome to the Voyage to Vitality holiday special. And before the break, we did tell you that we had some more guests from Laura and my season 1 shows. And we'd like to introduce to you the lovely Megan North, joining us all the way from down under. So Megan, welcome. Can you just introduce yourself, remind us what it is that you do?
Hi everyone, happy Christmas. I'm here in my very warm jumper in the middle of summer, so that's how dedicated I am to you, Dawn, and to Laura, and to everybody listening. Good morning everybody, or well, afternoon, evening, whoever is watching this at whatever time zone. My name is Megan North and I am the Overwhelm Coach. And I work with women in business to help them set and create boundaries that create strategies, long-term strategies that help them to help them prioritize their well-being. And this in turn helps them have self-awareness and awareness of self, and their well-being becomes their main priority, and that helps them overcome their overwhelm.
Fantastic. And how's business going for you?
It's good. It's ramping up. I've got quite a few clients booked in at the moment, helping them just to put in a couple of strategies to help them through this crazy period and to lead them up to Christmas so that they can actually be present at Christmas. That's the biggest thing. I think that when we're in overwhelm, people miss the present moment because there's so much going on. So I'm working with a few clients at the moment that just want to put 1 or 2 strategies in place to help them get through Christmas so that they can reflect and remember a lot of what happened at Christmas instead of it just being a blur.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what plans do you have for Christmas time?
So this Christmas, my husband and I are escaping.
Yay!
It's been a particularly big year for my husband, and he needs a break. And so we've got some friends that live up the coast that own a beautiful farm, and they're going away. So we're looking after the farm. So we're going to have they've just had lamb, the sheep have just lambed. So we've got some beautiful lambs hopping around the property, lots of chickens. They've got a beautiful border collie called Mango. So she will be a delight to be walking a couple of times a day, and the cat. So we're just going to escape for a couple of weeks and just look after the property. It'll be wonderful.
Goodness, that sounds total bliss. That is exactly what I need. You can send me the address. I'll be there. I love actually being in nature, being out in the fresh air, and it's just wonderful, especially being around animals. I just love it.
Yeah.
So do you have any holiday traditions that you follow, things that you do every year?
Holiday traditions, it's probably more of an end of year tradition that Darren, my husband, and I do. So we have a little ritual where we write down all of the things that we want to let go of from the year. So all the things that we're grateful for, all the things that maybe haven't been in our best interest, and we write them all down. And then we write another list of all the things that we want to manifest and bring into the new year. And then I've got a little chamber pot and we burn it. So we go through a little ritual of burning it and giving it out to the universe. So it's a really nice way to end the year. And then we always watch Love Actually.
Oh my goodness, I'm all goosebumps. That's my Christmas Eve thing. My husband and I have watched Love Actually for, I would say, a good 10 years. Yeah, it used to be Love Actually and a bottle of wine, but for him it's the bottle of wine. For me, it's just Love Actually. That's really funny that you do the same.
Yeah, and we do it on Christmas Eve as well as New Year's Eve. So
there you are.
So we love it. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about plans for 2024? Have you got anything, maybe business and personal, that you can share?
So quite a few things business-wise. I'm about to release a group coaching program. I'm wanting to do more facilitation. Lots of podcasts already and TV interviews booked in for the new year, which is exciting. And I just want to get more focused on with the women that I'm working with and the outcomes that they're getting, because I think that every woman in business is dealing with something different, but actually if I look at all the things that I work with them about, it's actually quite similar. So the group coaching program I think will be really great because I'm taking the highlights of the things that I often work with, and I'd love to start to work with women in a group, because I think women who are feeling overwhelmed in particular love to feel like that they're in a tribe. And so that's a new way that I'm going to start to do some coaching. The other thing is that my husband and I were supposed to relocate to New Zealand 2 weeks ago, and that has been put on hold. So we're planning on probably toward the end of the year that we'll relocate to New Zealand. So that will be exciting as well.
Yes, I was going to ask you, because I know you had mentioned to me that you were looking to move to New Zealand. I was going to ask you how you were progressing with that, but there you go.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Do you have any memories? Whether there be, sweet memories or really funny memories, maybe about a present or something. Share.
I've got a memory and then a quick funny thing. So memory is when I was 10 years old, and so this is like nearly 40 years ago. Cabbage Patch Kids were huge, really, really huge, and they were coming to Australia, like it was becoming a big thing in Australia, and all I wanted was a Cabbage Patch. And Mum and Dad were like, no, they're too expensive, Anyway, I remember waking up on Christmas morning and seeing this strange looking box under the tree, and it was my first Cabbage Patch. So that was she was the best looked after Cabbage Patch in the world. She had a car seat, she had a proper stroller, she had a baby bag. She was the best looked after Cabbage Patch, I can tell you.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
so you were about 9 or 10 years old?
Yeah, I was 10. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. And just a cute little memory that I have of my dad. I think when the last year that I lived at home, so I was 18, and I used to put a Santa sack on my door, and I remember him as I got older, he would I hope kids aren't listening to this, but he would come and knock on the door and say, "Are you asleep?" I'd be like, "Yes," and I'd hear him take the Santa sack, and then it'd come back and it'd all be filled with gifts. It was always nice to know that my dad, even when I was 18, was still looking after me like that. It was lovely.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So do you have a special message for the audience today?
Try to take moments through the break and through Christmas time, even if it's just 1 minute, to just recenter yourself and be present. Maybe take a conscious breath, maybe walk outside if people around you are triggering you, if you just need to take that moment. But try to get as many moments through the Christmas period as you can, because we often are so overwhelmed with what's going on and the people that are around us that we're not appreciating where we are and being in that exact moment. So try to find some little snippets of moments through the Christmas period that you can take, that you can just come back to you and just have a minute or two for yourself. And I think that will make a big difference for you over the Christmas period.
Yeah, very wise words. Recentering. Yes, absolutely. Deep breathing as well. It does that for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's excellent. Oh, Megan, it was lovely to see you again. We had a great conversation on the show. Thoroughly enjoyed it and got some great feedback from your contribution. So thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. From down under, and you're in the summer weather now, and we're coming into winter. So we wish you all the very best. Have a fabulous Christmas and a wonderful rest. You're 2 weeks away, and that's just fabulous. Enjoy it immensely. And we wish you the very, very best for 2024. Megan, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dawn and Laura. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, Megan is awesome. I have an episode coming up in season 2 with Megan as well. So wonderful guest. We had so many wonderful guests, and our next one that we have coming up, I just loved her. I always called her, like a dynamo. She's young. She already knew she wasn't meant to be working for someone else. Went into entrepreneurship and created Moxie Barbell, which I'll tell you, she does have a lot of moxie. So with that, I would love to bring on Carly Fisher. Fleischer. Sorry, Fleischer.
All good. Yeah. There's an annoying amount of consonants in my last name. It's totally fine. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell people a little bit about your Moxie barbell. How is that going for you?
For sure. So for anybody that didn't listen to my episode or who isn't familiar, I'm the owner and head coach of Moxie Barbell, which is an online strength nutrition and health behavior change coaching platform. So I really view myself as a holistic health coach. I work with people that are looking to really make broad lifestyle changes in the way that they live and trying to really work to become more of the person that they want to be and live the life that they want to live. So I help people in the area of, yes, health and fitness, but that also expands to things like your relationship with food, your body image, how much you sleep, how you move your body outside of the gym, your relationships, and pretty much everything in between. So yeah, it's a really fun job that I get to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we have quite a few people because, fitness and health and nutrition, it's an all package. And we have, a few people. What are some of your maybe favorite holiday traditions? Do you have any that you would like to share? Or what does that season mean for you?
Good question. Well, I'm Jewish. I grew up Jewish. And so my holiday traditions look definitely different now with me and my husband than they did growing up. I live on the West Coast and my entire family still lives on the East Coast. So growing up, I guess the funny one that I will share is, despite being Jewish, my mom, as a result, she was a nurse, and so she would work in the hospital, and she would always take the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day shifts so that she could have off for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And so we spent Christmas with my grandma every year, also fully Jewish, but we did Christmas, the whole thing. We had stockings, we did Santa, and we did everything. And I think, unlike some other kids, instead of making Christmas cookies for Santa, my grandma would let us make whatever concoction we wanted for Santa. So I don't remember how old we were at this time, my sister and I was probably around 10 or 11, but I think the most notable concoction that we put out for Santa were what we called booger balls. And I can't remember exactly what was in them or what was the motivation behind the booger balls, but that is one that always sticks with me.
Booger balls. At first I thought you said boomer balls. You said booger balls.
Booger balls. No actual boogers included, but yeah, not really sure where our heads were at.
No boogers were harmed during this making.
No,
how old were you when you did that?
Oh gosh, I really don't know. I can't imagine I was more than 10, maybe 11. My sister's 3 years younger than me. So yeah, couldn't have been much older than that.
That is fun. So do you have certain traditions that you do now, or I mean, have you created new ones with your husband, or?
Yeah, so we're really big skiers. So for us, the winter always coincides with how can we be on the slopes for as many days as humanly possible. And so Christmas time for us is usually a bigger ski trip. So this year we're actually traveling up to Vancouver, Canada, and we're going to be skiing in Whistler Blackcomb for the week. So very much looking forward to that. So I would say our traditions now are really just centered around the most ski days humanly possible.
That sounds like fun. I remember when I was younger, I grew up in Colorado, and I remember when I was younger, my mom, was always worried about us because she'd read about all these people getting, injured and hurt. So she wanted to make sure we had skiing lessons before we went off with our friends. And then here, lo and behold, here came a story of someone that had an instructor and hit a tree and got, critically injured. And she's like, okay, you can go with your friends to do this. Now it became okay. Now all of a sudden it became okay, So we started out on the slopes, and yeah, that is a really fun sport. I guess, yeah. I haven't had a chance to do it a whole lot, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah. What else do you have planned? What is the end of the year looking like for you? What do you have planned for the new season coming up?
Oh, good question. Definitely some more travel plans included in there. My husband and I like to keep ourselves really busy. So we're skiing in Vancouver and we're skiing in the French Alps at the end of January. So really, really looking forward to that. Visiting family and all of that good stuff. But from a business standpoint, 2024 is a big year of growth for Moxie Barbell. I launched the business just about a year ago. So this first year has really been about laying the foundation for the business and getting it to the place where it is now and figuring out where is my niche in the market and how can I best serve my clients. And 2024 is about really continuing to build upon that foundation. I'm expanding some of my different programs, expanding some of my client offerings, especially in the group coaching space as well. And similar to Megan, doing a lot of different appearances. I've been focusing pretty heavily on doing webinars and get different presentations for a lot of different groups to kind of spread the knowledge around. So most recently, I've been sharing some tips and tricks for how to still prioritize your health and fitness goals during the holiday season.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So so make sure you put those, because I know you belong, I'm pretty sure, in my group too, the White Sand Self-Care. So when you have those new things, make sure you post them and put them up there.
Oh, definitely. Too. I will. Good reminder.
Yeah. It's like it's intended for resources. That's why I love being able to connect everybody and have these resources together and put that up there. So besides the booger ball, did you have any other special or funny memories that you want to share?
Oh, good question. Honestly, we did that with my grandma literally every single year. I would say the other one is usually more around New Year's time. My dad actually owned a movie theater when I was growing up. And so we would spend a lot of time up there because he was often working. It was about 2 hours north of where I actually lived. And so every year I would get to bring friends up to the movie theater and we would celebrate New Year's Eve in the lobby of the theater, running around and making a mess that we would then inevitably have to clean up the next morning before any visitors came to the theater. But it was a really fun and kind of unconventional way to spend the holidays, and something that I have just the most fond memories of.
That is wild. What do you have a message or anything that you would like to share with the audience for the holidays?
Yeah, for sure. So this kind of comes straight out of the presentation that I just gave last night about prioritizing your health and fitness goals during the holiday season. But I think so many of us get bogged down in the hustle and bustle of the season. And sometimes we're focusing on the stress and being outside of our normal routine and traveling and having to go and do a whole bunch of things. And so the thing I would really remind and encourage people to keep in mind here is remember why you're doing all of this. It's really to create those memories with your friends and family and to be able to look back and maybe have a conversation on a podcast in 20 or 30 years and remember all of those really fun and amazing memories. So don't let the stress of the season really pass you by, and remember that you can be stressed out. You can have a lot of things on your plate and still make time to prioritize yourself.
That is wonderful. So, and speaking of the holidays, a lot of times, and I know your traditions and stuff are different, but is there a special meal or something that you look forward to or that you guys do at this time of year?
Oh, good question. Well, I think the traditional thing in the Jewish world is potato latkes, but I think the dark horse here in that I actually don't love potato latkes, but I fully have leaned into, I love Christmas cake. The last 3 years, we were actually at my in-laws in Scotland, and my mother-in-law would make the Christmas cake and then leave it to me to decorate because I'm a little bit of an amateur baker. So the Christmas cake is really it for me. I love all the spices and all of the fruit, which I think a little bit of an unusual opinion, that I don't like the thing that everybody else seems to like, and I really like the thing that nobody else seems to like.
That sounds like the dreaded fruit cake that I see all the time that people are like,
I love it, honestly, at least the way she makes it.
My mother, awesome. Honestly, my mother makes the most fantastic Christmas cake. And that's what I miss now. Because she's in Scotland. I cannot get her Christmas cake. She starts them in September. And that's how long they are to soak up all the juices. And it's the best Christmas cake ever. Thanks,
Maybe
Mom.
It has to be a Scottish thing then, because my husband is Scottish and my in-laws still live in Scotland. And that is why the cake is always made before I get there, because it has to be soaking and it has to do whatever magic she's doing with it before I get there to throw the fondant and the marzipan on top.
There you go.
That is awesome. Carly, I want to thank you so much for coming back on and joining us for this holiday special. Really look forward to following you and seeing you where everything goes. So yeah, be sure to keep in touch, because I love what you're doing. I think it's wonderful. And the fact that you've done that at such a young age, I know mostly people you can call it midlife crisis or whatever. We're just now finding our way. But you, that I always thought was amazing, because you're in your early 20s and you already knew it's like, nope, I have better things to do than to work for somebody. And I think it's just awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, for me, it was a mid-20s crisis versus a midlife crisis, but that means a lot. And thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carly.
and staying on the roll of fitness, and we're still in California, but we definitely need to bring back and bring on Bobby Aldridge. Bam Motion, it's a great time doing an episode and all the injuries and stuff that you recovered and what you've done. But Bobby, please tell everybody a little bit more from your own perspective, what you do and what you've been doing.
I've been, thanks for having me on the show. It's nice to be here. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I've been doing this for 30 years, training athletes and regular people and trying to get them to move well. And I've dealt with a lot of injuries myself and been able to help a lot of people do this stuff on their own at home. And I invented some tools some years ago to simplify movement for the average person at home. And it just makes you feel great. So you don't have to be a fitness person, just a matter of you want to feel better. So you can go do what you love to do. So yeah, 30 years in the business here now.
Yeah, and I think that's even an awesome Christmas gift if anybody was looking at, Christmas gifts, any of this stuff is. I mean, because you and I have talked, we're close to the same age, but you get stiff from sitting around and all the movements, and I love how you break things down and make it so simple for just a few minutes a day, because everybody looks at it as such a huge chore. But
yeah, I talk about that all the time. Lifestyle. It's like, what is your lifestyle? Fit it into your lifestyle. It's like brushing your teeth. Just do a little bit every day, mix it in to your lifestyle, especially like we were talking right now, it's Christmas time. People are, all over the place, busy, busy, busy. So fit it into the busy so you don't feel guilty at the end of the day and you don't hurt. So
yeah. So what are some of your favorite holiday Christmas traditions?
Well, we have, my wife's Jewish and I'm Catholic, so we have both going in the house. And the funny thing is, my wife's Jewish, but she loves Christmas trees. So we have 5 Christmas trees in the house, and we have the train going around and all the stuff. It's like magic land here. So, my tradition is the family comes over. We have clients that come over, athletes that come over. It's kind of a big Christmas table, and yeah, we've been doing that for years. So
that's beautiful. You just reminded me too, because being from a military family, I spent some Christmases over in Germany, and we always had one of those Fleischmann train sets that we used to set up that used to go around the tree. Do you do real trees or do you do artificial trees?
Artificial, so we don't have to worry about leaving them on, leaving the lights on, that sort of thing. So yeah.
Mine, I was always worried about the dogs wanting to mark it because thinking it's a real tree. So I always went with artificial myself. But
I love the smell of real trees, though. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I absolutely do. So you in a way you kind of celebrate it twice. What is your favorite holiday meal?
I always like steak and potato. That's my favorite. So I've had, roast and potatoes, and those are the best for me. Sometimes we have turkey, but it changes. It depends. If we go to my mom's or she's coming to my house, so we'll switch it up.
So do you guys ever do anything, or do you remember even when you were a kid, any kind of like fun or traditions or silly traditions you used to do? Maybe you don't do them anymore, or do you create new ones?
Well, I always thought it was so special, like when we were little kids, how we were afraid to get out of bed because we were afraid to run into Santa. And we were literally like, do you think he's already been here? Are the packages out? And me and my brother are in the same room, and we talk back and forth. And then one of us would have to get up and go check, like go down the hall and kind of look in, and we're afraid to run into Santa. And, that was something I remember a lot back then. And then the first time we got our bike, my dad sent me in the den to go get the scissors, and I went in and got them, and I came back out and I handed it to him, and then he said, "Can you go get the scissors again, like later on?" And I'm like, God, I gotta go get the scissors again. And I go back into the den, and when I went in there, there's 2 bikes, and I was like, oh my God, bikes! There's bikes! And my brother and I were like 10, and we jumped on those things, went outside around the corner, and started riding our bikes for the next 2 hours. So those are special times that I remember.
That is awesome. Yeah, for me, it was like the day after Thanksgiving. I'd get up early before anybody'd wake up. I'd start setting up Christmas and Christmas tree, and that's when when I got older. Because Christmas morning, I'd be up before anybody, and I had to wake up the whole household to Elvis Christmas album. Yes, we had albums back then, the old LPs. I'd have him blasting to make sure everybody knew that we need to get up and open up presents. But yeah, our family always had to hide them because Holly and I, my sister and I, were always digging around trying to see, oh, what do we got hiding here, trying to peek, but kind of ruins the surprises. So what do you have planned for this year? Do you have anything special planned for this year?
Well, we're gonna go Christmas at our house here. Everybody's gonna come over, and then the next day we're flying to Florida to take my son down to IMG Academy. It's a boarding school for baseball, and so we're gonna be down there for the holiday for the next like 10 days. So checking them in, hanging out down there, getting them comfortable with that. So that's kind of what's going on this holiday. But normally we're around home. We're here. We take some time off because usually busy with work the whole year. So it's nice to have time off.
Yeah, and that's something to get used to too, because I remember growing up in Colorado, I was used to having snowy Christmases, and then stationed in Arizona, people are decorating saguaro cactuses. Do you guys ever miss the snow, or no? Or you just have a nice
Oh yeah,
green?
I'm only 3 hours from it, so I can go from here to the snow. But because I was a baseball player, we never really got into skiing. I was always home every year for baseball season. It would go from basketball right into baseball season, so we kind of missed the skiing. Um, and we couldn't really afford it at the time when we grew up as kids, you know.
Yeah.
But we love the snow. We love to go in the snow and throw snowballs at each other, you know, and slide down the hill and all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes we don't think about the differences when you live in different places. If you grow up in one place, you're used to doing something else, and then you go somewhere else. It's like, how do you do this? There's no this, there's no that. It's, kind of an adjustment. So what do you have on the horizon for BAM Metrics in the new year? What you got planned?
There's kind of a lot going on. We've got a lot. I just wrote 3 books last year, so I've got physical therapy clinics I've been helping. I've got corporate wellness programs I'm doing, and then I have a lot of pro athletes that are getting on the different tours. And so I'm going to be doing a special of 100 days of one of my golf pros, one of my 50-year-old guys, and my 18-year-old daughter for golf swing speed. And we're going to talk about mobility, pain and performance, and how average people can get better. And so I'm really excited about that. It's going to be 100 days straight with those guys, when we're going to probably start that close to the new year. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of excited about.
That is awesome. And I love that too, because you work with, young, and some people may think, oh, well, they're too old. This is the way it is. But you have a lot of people that you've worked with that are like 72, 80 something, and they are being able to see great improvement in their mobility.
I just had a guy yesterday, 85 years old, first time ever he got off the ground by himself. He used to have to put his hands on things to get up. He finally went down on the ground and then got back up off the ground. And his wife was so happy because she's so worried she's going to be gone. He falls and he can't get up. And that's the way it was for the last, 6 months. And yesterday was the first day. 85 years old, got off the ground himself. So that was exciting.
That is amazing, and a gift in itself, I think. What is what holiday message, what would you like to share with everybody for the holidays?
Well, big thing is we all get super busy during this time, and it's a good time to be grateful for where you are and what you've been doing, and look back and take all the successes that you've had, and then think about what are you going to do in the new year to make it even better, and learn from the stuff that you had troubles with. It's like, it's good to have the struggling points. That's what you learn from. You never learn when you win, you learn when you lose. And so it's like, be grateful for the lessons and learn from that. And then I hope you guys stay on top of your fitness through the holiday season, so you don't feel guilty when January 1st comes and say, hey, we got to get started again. It's like, let's just do it through the holiday and feel good about it. And, that's literally the key, is lifestyle. Fit it into the lifestyle, be consistent, and I promise you'll feel you'll feel better during the holidays too. You don't feel guilty. Eat what you want. Enjoy it. Moderation.
Yeah, and do it throughout the year. I mean, so many of us, make those New Year's resolutions and, we're going to get healthier, we're going to lose weight. We got summer, we got swimsuit season coming up, and then, I don't know, something happens, and then there they go. I think they say resolutions may last 2-3 weeks, and people have already tossed them out the window.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So little bits every day is better than a lot and then nothing. A lot and then nothing. And yeah, I promise you'll feel better. You'll lose the weight you want to lose, and make those small changes.
Yeah, and lifestyle is the key. When you make it your lifestyle, it's not so much a chore, and it's something that just becomes your everyday habit. I love that. So,
can I just say that my husband really likes the mat and the blocks. Every night he's down there, he's stretching exercises, and he's on your website looking at some different exercises to switch it up a little bit. So he is loving it,
awesome.
By the way. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, if he wants to chat sometime, have him reach out to me.
The other day.
Yes.
Yep. My set came in just the other day for my birthday. So I'm looking forward to learning to use those and move better myself.
Yeah, what I like about it is you guys don't need me. You can watch little videos and do these things on your own, and you just start to feel better because you're doing maybe 6 or 8 things. Like I said, the wall windmill, the runner stretch, the bretzel, lay on the blocks. Super simple, and anybody can do it. So, thanks for having me on, and this has been great. You guys are an awesome host, and appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing where you go in the new year and how things progress for you. So we'll be staying in touch too.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Merry Christmas,
awesome.
Sweetheart. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. So it's your turn now, Laura, because you've been a guest on my show. So let me ask you some things here.
Sure.
What are your favorite traditions?
Well, let's see, other than I used to set up the thing and stuff, I used to set up the trees and stuff, like I said, after Thanksgiving and stuff. We had a lot of, when we had more tradition, I think growing up, actually older, let me rephrase that. When we got older, when we were all back home, one of our newer things now was every year we go to my mom and dad's, especially when we were all living in Colorado again together. And my mom would spend the first couple of days. She makes a 3-layer lasagna. And then she makes the green and red Jello, striped Jello, because you got to have green and red for Christmas. And then Mom always made an extra tray of lasagna for us to take home and for my sister and her family to take home. She decorated to the hill every time.
Mm-hmm. So. And what about, did you have a best present or, something that really sticks in your mind that you really enjoyed receiving?
We've had a lot of goofy ones here and there, although it was weird how we went in these phases. I remember one year it was really kind of funny. I think we were all kind of getting on that fitness kick, or we were gaining weight, didn't like it. And if my parents got me and my sister the same gift, they would make us sit back to back so you can't see the other one and you have to open them at the same time. And I remember me and my sister opening us these ones, and it's a scale that can tell you your body fat, your weight when you put all this stuff in, a pedometer, for walking. Or we're like, oh, okay. It was just, but I mean, it was something we would, they just thought of because we were looking, for different things. But we used to always do a lot of silly things. Some of the fun ones were, when you didn't want to give it away. Because, if you get somebody a piece of jewelry, you can tell by a small box, oh, this is jewelry. So we always had to take it a step further, and you put the small box inside a bigger box, and a bigger box. You put telephone books in it. You put whatever, so it seems really heavy, and it really makes them wonder, oh, I got this. And they have to keep going. And then you get to this tiny box. And of course, as my sister kids got older, well, then duct tape got introduced. So now instead of fancy Christmas paper, we have presents totally wrapped in duct tape. But no fear, my nephews always have a pocket knife handy to get in and open them up. And it just kind of became a, kind of a funny thing, because otherwise, people would kind of know. So Some of that's gone away a little bit because we've made things easier. We all share Amazon lists now. So if you see stuff disappear off your list, you know you're getting your item from somebody. It takes a little of the mystery out of it. But
I was not aware of that. You need to tell me more.
Oh,
tell me more later.
It makes it really easy, and you can get what you want. But if you go back and check your list before Christmas and you can see what's disappeared, then you know someone bought it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That's such a good idea, actually. You said you were brought up in Colorado, so obviously you get the snow and everything, pretty deep snow from my experience living in Colorado. So what kind of fun things did you do when you were a child in the snow?
Oh my God. Oh, we got pictures of that too. So we've had years sometimes, like some of the worst blizzards where my dad's 6 foot. My dad was 6'1", and he actually had a shovel over his head. We had such a snow drift and stuff. It would either come in on the front or the back. And when it came on the back side of the house, one of the things we would do was take water and kind of make it icy. We'd build steps into the side, and we'd climb up on the side and then slide down and make our own snow slide in the backyard. Or we would try to do igloos, and mess around the snow. Of course, we always had all the, big heavy clothes and stuff to keep us going, but it was always fun trying to build stuff in the snow. You just have to watch when it gets slushy, because that can really hurt when you have a snowball fight when they're slushy, because that's more like throwing ice balls than snowballs. They'll break as
heavy,
easy.
aren't they? Yeah, that's right. I was so surprised at the amount of snow that falls in such a short space of time. I mean, I think we moved in the end of February, and in June we had our first ever bomb cyclone. And we had 3 feet of snow that fell in less than 2 days. And my husband would and he fell into the snow and he totally disappeared. Down in the bottom. I don't like this.
My sister wiped out on skis once at the base of a tree. The skis came off and she just she sunk in. We had to dig her out. It was funny. But
there you go. So what's your holiday message for the viewers?
Oh, well, I know Christmas can be tough for people. One of the reasons I had chose to wear this is my late husband, who passed away December 21st of 2004, loved Christmas, loved Halloween, and this was his hat. He was a jokester and he liked the jester hat, so this was actually his Christmas hat. And I know they can be tough. I try to focus more on all the happy things now, but I know it's not always a happy time for people. It took me a lot of years, because when he passed away, that pretty much took the wind out of my sails for Christmas. The first year I got a lot of special gifts from my family, but I didn't want to decorate anymore. I stopped decorating, and you kind of go back and forth. The thing is you have to do what's best for you. And my only wish for people is to be able to focus on the positive. And it's tough to get through that stuff sometimes, but that's why I do the show, and that's why I do stuff, because we all struggle from time to time, and I love for people to know that there's other people out there that can help them and support them. So if you are feeling that way, reach out. You're not alone in this. So make sure you reach out to other people. But I really truly hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday and make those special memories and moments and stuff with your family that you don't always get the chance, to do, because you always have the memories. Mm-hmm. You always have the memories.
Very true. Okay, I shall not grill you anymore.
But it is your turn. So, although Dawn and I are both the TV show hosts, we did start our seasons out by having each other as a guest, because we both have stuff. And Dawn is such a delight. I always love her accent and stuff. But we were talking earlier, and you actually have some funny favorite holiday traditions that I had never heard of. I thought maybe you would like to share.
I would love to share them. Carly earlier was talking about, it must be a Scottish tradition for the fruit Christmas cake. I think it is, but also what is tradition for Christmas Day is something called a clootie dumpling. Now it's a bit like a Christmas cake, but it's actually boiled, believe it or not, in a big cloth. It's covered in flour and wrapped up, tied tightly, and it's boiled probably for hours and hours. I mean, a good 5-6 hours probably. But when you make it, my mother used to take coins and wrap them in some parchment paper and twist them together and put them in the batter in the mix. So that when you're eating this clootie dumpling, you can sometimes almost break your teeth on this coin that was in it. But it was something that we all looked forward to, and see how many people, see who could win with the most number of coins in the clootie dumpling. And traditionally, that is served with cream. It's served hot, and it's served with cream. And my dad always used to want to make his own cream, so he would buy all the milk, and he had this plunger thing. It was like this metal plunger thing, and you would pour the milk in the top, and then you would stand and you would plunge and plunge and plunge, and that's it, churning the cream on the inside. It used to take him forever, but the best tasting cream ever. So that is one of the traditions, the clootie dumpling with the fresh cream. The second one actually is Christmas crackers, and I've never seen them here, and it's not what you think. It's actually,
no, it's definitely not. You and I had that conversation.
It's definitely not what you think. We have a tradition that on Christmas Day, and we sometimes do it on New Year's Day with the family meal, that you have a Christmas cracker at the side of your plate. And it's like a thin cardboard type, it just looks like a cracker. I can't think of any other word for it, but it's like a tube in the middle, and it's tied on either side. And inside are they're like little gifts or daft things. I mean, they're really cheap plastic things, but with little plastic rings, and there's always a paper hat, and it just looks, it's a multicolour kind of hat with peaks on it that you all had to put on while you were eating your dinner. And you take it with someone else, and then you pull, and it's got like a snap thing in it, like it pops, it goes bang, which is why it's called a cracker. So you pull that apart, and whoever has the main piece of the tube, the big tube in the middle, gets to keep the contents of it. So it all depends on how much your crackers are as to the quality of your gifts. So, if you would pay maybe 20, 30 pounds for a dozen crackers, you were going to get some nice things in there that you might even want to keep. But that was always funny. We used to have good fun with those, and you would see everybody wandering about at night with these plastic bead necklaces on, and these wee silly rings and stickers.
It's always fun to hear other people's traditions, and gives you ideas of maybe something
just a
new
bit
and
fun,
different to try. So, what are your plans for this season?
Well, for this Christmas, it's just going to be my husband and I. The family is in Scotland, and our daughter is in Denver. So she's not, I think she's planning on visiting one of her friends this Christmas. So it's just going to be the two of us. So there's not going to be anything, we're not going to have any visitors. I believe we're not going to have any visitors this year. So we're just going to take it easy. My husband's been working crazy hours this year, so he's going to have some nice downtime. We'll sit and watch Love Actually on Christmas Eve, and the usual tradition. And we're going to put the tree up very, very soon, because it's getting very close to Christmas. But we're kind of a little apprehensive about that, because we had 3 cats up until June this year. And for all these Christmases before, they were absolutely mesmerised by the tree, and they would go underneath it and they would lie on the skirt, right? And occasionally they would knock a ball off, but they were never destructive in any way. We now have a male cat called Jupiter, and he's a jumper. He likes to jump, and he's a ninja. You can't hear him do anything. So I've been trying to hold off as long as possible for putting this tree up, because I have no idea. We'll probably hear it through the night of the tree coming crashing down, but who knows? Who knows? But it's just going to be a quiet one, Laura. Just the two of us, just taking some time.
It might not be so quiet. It depends on Jupiter.
That's true. That's very true. But the weather here is really quite nice. It's cooled down a little. So I think we're now 50, 60 degrees, which is fabulous. And I love getting wrapped up and going out for long walks in this kind of weather. And particularly if it's windy. I just love being nice and cozy and having that cold wind in my face. I just find it really refreshing. Call me crazy, but it's just something I like.
I don't mind it myself as long as the rest of me is warm enough. Otherwise, once I start to shiver and pain kicks
Your
in.
hands have got to be warm. Your hands have got to have these big, thick mitts or gloves on. They've got to be cozy.
And hand warmers. Put the hand warmers in there.
I agree.
Absolutely. I thought it was funny that you and Megan both have Love Actually. I've always been how the Grinch Stole Christmas, and my late husband, I had to pick up the whole Muppets Christmas Carol, light the lamp, not the rat. And it was just our fun Christmas movies to watch.
Yeah.
So is there ever a gift that you have received that was just really special or stands out to you? I mean, I know we've had a lot of special gifts, but something that stands out.
Yes. This one here, it sits on my desk.
That is beautiful.
My youngest daughter gave me this about, I think I'm going to cry. She gave me this about 3 years ago. And I think what got to me was the thought that she put into all of this. Because it's one of these, fill in the blank books. What I love about my mom. And she had written some really funny things in there, but she was such a sweetheart. And I keep it sitting because if I ever need a wee bit of motivation, I always flick through to a few things. So I'll read you a couple. You inspire me to be, and she filled in, a more spiritual and healthier person. She says, I love it when you call me, she says, Jenny, because her name's Jenna, but sometimes I shout Jenny. I love it when you call me Jenny, but I hate it when someone else calls me that. So that's my name for her. I am humbled by your kindness and grace. And this reels me in every single time. She's also cheeky. I'm thankful I got your good looks and charm. Some girl. I love that you still go above and beyond. And then this is a full book in here that she just took a lot of time and gave it a lot of thought about how she feels about her mother. And I just love it. It just sits here quite the thing with me all the time. And like I said, I reflect on it, and if I'm feeling a little bit lost or whatever, I'll flick through and I'll read a few pages. So it's definitely a pick me up. That's definitely a pick me up.
And that is definitely a special gift when someone
Yeah.
takes that much time and effort.
Yeah.
It makes it very, very special coming from
Yes,
your
it does.
daughter, and they took time. It wasn't something they just went out and bought. So I think that's beautiful.
Very true.
What is your message for everybody for this year?
Oh, just take some time for yourself. I mean, I know most of us have talked about this, self-care and looking after yourself and not allowing things to get overwhelmed. Just calmness, even, calming the mind. And I just love to sit quietly in reflection for a while. And I need to start, I say gratitude, that what I'm grateful for all the time, but I should actually start writing it down, and then I can go back and reflect on it and maybe see how things are going. But take time for you, but have the best time ever. I don't know that I can give anyone else any other kind of message. Go easy on the alcohol because it's not so good for you, but just, have a great time, and you can overindulge in your food a little bit, and just enjoy the special time. Enjoy the TV as well, because it's pretty good over Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah. And I know we're going to be out of time soon, but we do have one more guest. And this lady is a beautiful lady. Delia Gould was on my show last year, and she is the author of You Too Can Be Happy Again. Like I said, sometimes seasons are rough, but she had a message she wanted to share with everybody, and just know that no matter what you go through, that you can be happy again. And with that, we want to play this message from Delia.
Hi everyone, happy holidays. The holidays are a time of joy and happiness. I remember as a girl, we were very poor. And the only day of the year we would receive toys was on Christmas Day. I was so excited playing with my new doll or game. Unfortunately, the holidays would not be happy for everyone. There are some people who are going through some very difficult times in their lives and would be sad or even depressed. Maybe they were told that they have cancer, or they're going through a divorce, or they are being evicted from their home, etc. This is where my book, You Can Be Happy Again, Bouncing Back After Infidelity, Betrayal, and Loss, will be helpful. It made #1 on Amazon. In it, I share my experience when my husband had an affair with my best friend, who was married to his cousin and the secretary of our business. He even got her pregnant. You could imagine how that made me feel. I went into a great depression. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I lost a lot of weight and even fainted at one point. I didn't even have the energy sometimes to make a meal for my children. But eventually, I was able to find happiness again. And You Can Be Happy Again, there are helpful tips or helpful lessons learned at the end of each chapter. And there are a number of tips on how you can find happiness again. Some of which are taking responsibility for your own happiness, knowing when to let go, and accepting the things that you cannot change, and much, much more. So if you are facing a very difficult challenge, this is the book for you. Or maybe someone you love, they are in a dark place right now. This will be the perfect gift to give them for the holidays. It will bring hope and let them know, yes, I can be happy again too. Prices have been discounted on Amazon by a mega 20% or more. The ebook from $2.99 to $1.99. The paperback from $14.99 to $11.99. And the hardcover from $19.99 to $15.99. But hurry and get your copy, because this is only for a limited time. Happy holidays, everyone.
Bless her, that looks like a good book.
It is a good book. It is a very good book. And her mission is wonderful, to help over 10,000 women, learn to be happy again, for a lot of people that wind up suffering in silence, whether it's shame or fear. But she is doing very well.
That's great.
She's doing very well.
Well, look, we're just about out of time.
Yeah, it goes fast. But I know we have a wonderful next season coming up with a bunch of amazing guests. We have more amazing guests coming up.
It's going to be fabulous. So look out for the next quarterly special. This will be interesting. Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Guests on. You might even see some of the same, because they got new things going on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, meantime, we just want to say have a very Merry Christmas. And Laura and I wish you all the very best for your health and prosperity in 2024. And we are sending much love your way. So look after yourself this holiday season and have a very, very Merry Christmas. Take care.
Yep. Healthy, prosperous New Year too.
Yes, absolutely. Bye, Laura.
Bye-bye.